I didn't wake up one morning and say, ah, it's a nice day, you know what? I think I'll become an alcoholic.
I was coming at her with all these things. Well, this and this and this and this, and I have a place to live in my car, you know, blah, 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 you know. And she's like, well, maybe you need to get a job. And it took someone just to make it real simple and show me that I had to, you know, just take some baby steps.
A lot of people would say, I'm an expert in alcohol and drug abuse treatment. Well, this expert had no idea what to do when his own kid became addicted.
We moved to Atlanta, I had 2 small children. I worked for CNN as a journalist. I had a good life.
When I was 18 years old, I was admitted into an inpatient psych ward for an attempted suicide that was directly related to using.
I think if I knew where better resources were, that would have helped a whole lot.
I didn't have any money, I didn't have any family, I didn't have any friends. You know, what I had was a desire to get better.
And I spent 8 days there where I figured out my problem was depression, not drugs. Drugs are my solution.
And then on October the 8th of 1994, I left my home in suburban Atlanta on a Sunday afternoon, kissed my wife and 2 small babies goodbye, and went to the crack house, not to get high, but to die, because that's what I wanted to do. My disease had overwhelmed me to the point where I even was clinically depressed. I could see no way out. I saw no hope. I didn't want help. I wanted to die.
He was in a car crash, and someone rear-ended him, and he was given pain pills. I remembered them being on our counter, and he left them there, and when I saw the amount of them, I remembered taking it, and I believe it said 4 a day every 4 hours, and I just explained to him that make sure you don't take them before the time. This seemed like a lot of them, and you don't take more than what's prescribed. You have to be very careful with this. And then I even asked him, do you want me to hold on to them and give them to you as needed? And I remembered him taking it from me, and he was 21 or 22, I don't remember. And he said, no, I'm over 21, I can handle it.
And it was an undercover cop, and it was my job to go around and cop drugs and take the stuff back and turn the people in. Well, I got kicked off the police force because all of the drugs I turn in always turn up bogus.
And I remember this feeling I got walking in the hospital between buildings. It was like all of a sudden this sunlight came down. And the hospital was white, and it was real white, and it was real bright. And it was just like, as scared as I was going in there, I think that was my first feeling of surrender.
From a federal penitentiary, Long Beach, California, to serving 3 presidents in official capacity is quite a leap.
Right when I tell them that I don't want to go home, I like it here, and the worst feeling of fear hit me as fear has ever hit me in my life. As I told you, even trying to change in prison in the most difficult situation on earth was better than having to face the reality of coming out here. And when I came out here, I knew I didn't have any skills. Even though I told you I had, graduated from high school, had been to college, had been a policeman, all of my job skills, everything had went out the window, and I was afraid when I came out. And what happened was some people, from a 12-step group met me, and I just told them, I said, I don't know how to survive out here. And I said, everybody I know out here on the street do wrong. And I said, if I don't get some help, I don't think I'm gonna make it.
It's easy to stop using alcohol and other drugs. I did it 1,000 times, but it's hard to stay stopped. And that bridge between when we're using and the long-term road of recovery, for me, is that day-at-a-time sort of attitude. The only way I get to tomorrow is by doing today. Not perfectly, not even well, but doing it in the context of my recovery. nothing is more important than my sobriety, for without it, I have nothing.
I know every time I hear someone else's story, I pick out something that relates to me. They could be the most different person on the face of the planet. One of my best friends is this 39-year-old black man from the streets of inner city New Jersey, and you have not met two more different people. But I would give my guts for that man. And I'm hoping somebody who is struggling with addiction, or is a family or friend of someone struggling with addiction, will be able to relate and, you know, find what they need to seek help. Especially young people. It's hard. You know, you're not too young to be an addict.